Yeah, you start team.
Alright, I did my project on the flipped classroom. Now, what a flipped classroom is there's a lot of misconceptions about it, but it's mainly that you're building background knowledge for homework before they come into class, and using that to expand on it. You can use it in different ways, and you can build that background knowledge in different ways. So, for example, a teacher could have them read a handout or a chapter from the book, and then do a project in class, or do an activity. It's basically to pull direct instruction out of the classroom, which sometimes you have to use, and give it to them at home to free up more time in class. So, for example, one day during a flipped, I had them watch a video, read a handout, giving them just definitions. We were starting graphing, really the first time we were starting graphing that semester. And they got like XY coordinate plane, what is a vertex, what is a parabola, and stuff like that. And then we did some notes, talked about in class, but then we spent the rest of the class period playing graphing battleship. So they weren't just guessing points, they were guessing linear and quadratic equations. That they would guess all those points. So it was like a cool way. They figured out the best strategy would be just horizontal or vertical lines, because that gets the most points. So I thought that was fun, and things like that. So you could use it in many different ways. You don't have to do a handout, you don't have to do a video, but build a background knowledge and then use that in class. So I had to limit it because of NTPA. I had like the most nowadays because Penna is pulled from all kinds of different schools. So if we have schools that cancel, we're canceled too. So it's kind of nice if you're placed there, you'll get some nowadays here and there. So I had to do 4 days normal, 4 days flipped. I did a survey after the normal classroom, just the regular way I teach, with just regular homework problems. And then I did the same survey with a couple of questions added, like, do you prefer flipped to non-flipped? And they knew I told them what we're doing, so they knew that it was the flipped homework. Or do you prefer problems over the videos? And then, so some of the questions were, and these are some of the significant ones I found, like, I did the homework every night, I felt confused by the homework, I found the homework to be engaging, I found class time to be engaging, I felt motivated to participate in class, I felt motivated to do the homework, and a bunch of questions like those. So I kind of found, as I went through my results, that it was hard because 4 days, there's not going to be a significant change in answer. So I just calculated the mean for every class, and then I would do a difference of means. So if their average result, and I numbered my survey, strongly disagree was a 1, disagree was a 2, neither, 3, agree, 4, or 5. So I find the difference of scores, and if a score had a difference of 0.5, that could be enough to change someone's answer. If you agreed with something, and you had more than a 0.5, remember each one was 1, increase in agreement, then you might change your result from agree to strongly agree. Or if it was a negative above a 0.5, you might change your result. I also ran t-tests on my results. So if the value is below 0.05, that means that the result, actually this is significant, if not just random chance that one is greater than the other. So when you're doing that in any results, and I think a lot of people didn't mention that they didn't do that, it's still important to do, even though this is not like a serious, we're not trying to prove the significance of things. So my significant ones were B block, felt more confused by the homework, which, I mean, it makes sense. They're actually learning something for the homework, not just doing problems they've already done. So that could be considered a good or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. And B block also felt a very strong statistical significance, that they felt an increased interest in the study of mathematics. And that could be for other reasons as well. It could be my teaching made them like math more. So once again, you can't really say it's from the flipped, but it's still a result to look at. D block felt a strong, significant increase, that they felt that out-of-class homework was helpful at preparing them for the following day, which is the whole idea of the flip. So it's good that we had that result. And it helped them improve the material, also helped them improve the material covered in class, which wasn't what I was going for, but it still ended up being a neat result to have. It's just a short period of time. So I found some other results. They felt more motivated to participate, and they felt math was more important to them, was some of the main results that were actually significant. Everything else was just insignificant. So I had some increases in certain levels, which is good. So flipped is basically the same from the student's point of view as the normal classroom. Because nothing really changed. I was still doing the same type of activities. I just spent less time lecturing, which is the whole idea of it. So I found it was hard because I wanted to actually give more problems for homework some nights, and some nights it was hard because I had to do a video, and it kind of reveals secrets, so it's really hard to find the right information you're giving them for homework, because you don't want to like reveal too much stuff. You want to give them background and let them figure stuff in class out on their own. So it takes like 2 to 3 times as much planning. Because if you plan the video wrong and the handout wrong, you have to reteach all that stuff that you thought they were going to know in class, and that whole we could use the time for activities is gone. It's lost. So really, if you're ever going to use a flip for homework, and I recommend it, we use different teaching strategies in the classroom because we don't want to teach the same way all the time. We should do the same with the homework. You should never give the same type of homework to your students every night, because people learn better from different types of lessons that you teach, and they're going to learn better from different types of homework that you give. So I really wish I could see if I did a study on like where I did both intermittently. I picked it where I wanted to use flip, and then where I didn't, I could use normal. Because I think that's the best way it would be used. And a lot of teachers don't do that. They do, I'm teaching a flip classroom, which I don't think it would be that effective. I think you use it when you need to, because then they're always learning something when they shouldn't be sometimes. And so it could flip around. Any questions about study?
I just lost it. I have one. How do you deal with if students are supposed to watch a video but they don't have internet?
I built with whatever information was in the video, I would write my own handout that described it, and I copied pictures. I just take a like still frame of the images on there, and I'd go step by step. And that also, once again, takes a long time to do, because you have to make sure everything's on there so they can get it. A lot of them even chose the ones that had internet. Sometimes like to read the handout over the video. It's just how they learn differently. Some were able to do it without the video, and if they could do that, then they still got the right background knowledge they need.
Did you ever run into students that didn't do either?
Yeah, there's a lot of students that don't have time to do the homework. I know I have a lot of students. Alex, one kid, goes home and he works a full-time job. He can't do the homework at all. So that was a tough thing to work around in class. So I kind of had to, at the start of class, go over some of the information we did in the video a lot of times to make sure the students that didn't do that homework were able to get it. And then they were just having to pull along with that. And usually I was able to get the minimum enough, and they were able to get it. They were working groups a lot of different times, so they were able to get it from the groups, what they missed. So that kind of worked out nicely. Any other questions?
Go ahead, Megan.
What program did you use for your videos?
I just a lot of times searched. I don't like video cameras. I was gonna make my own, just with the time, the TPA, I wasn't able to. So I found Khan Academy for a few of them, and he does a lot of not just showing how to do things, but getting to think about things, which is good. And then I forget what the other one was. Just.
But it wasn't like your own personal videos. It was other resources. Okay.
Yeah. Is that a ring or not?
It's official.
I was
Ring it like a man.